exercise, my game for today, my lovely friends here on the Asma Radio Network, Evala Psychic Radio, and Voice Track TV is doing some beatboxing. So I need to practice that. So probably the first and the last trial. So shall I just go away with my practice and then come back and start my show, because I am a psychic. I am a psychic and a medium, and I'm here to talk to you about those kind of things. And I really, really want us to be in the middle, because if you can see me, this is one of my favorite places here in my room, and then I like us to see everything which is behind me. So here we go. Let me just start my show here. But here we go. So I hope you are all very well and doing various things to keep yourself bright and all together, and finding the means in your life and the zest of your life and the sense of your life. So that might be actually music, that might be you are drawn to the rhythm patterns. And then as you are walking on the street, you might be just going with your own patterns and repeating the patterns. And it's why it's really, really good, because it keeps our brain in structure. It helps us moving forward in our lives. And then even if you can just manage a couple of minutes singing a song and going with the beat in our heart or in our mind, then it is already doing something good for us. And while I'm talking about this, it's interesting, because I know what I want to talk about, but while I started this one, the musical bit, because how music is holding us together, and some of us are really drawn to the sense of rhythm and then the patterns. And one example is our producer behind the scene here. So Mr. Dave was giving me something to do with the rhythm, and then I'm going with the pulse and the rhythm. So I'm structuring myself in that way. But you see, some of us are drawn to the melodies, and then the melodies, and because we like the beautiful, beautiful themes, and maybe the descending and ascending patterns, and then all the various melodies and the different modalities and all those things. I won't even start talking about those things. Some of us like the quieter sounds, some of us like the louder sounds. So you might be drawn to the variety of volume, you see, because you are resonating differently. Your body really, really invites some kind of sound. Sometimes you really want to have the quieter sound. Sometimes you really want to have the loudest sound. So for instance, today when I was driving through town, I'm driving a little car. It's like so tiny. I can even put it into the screen here with myself. But I know the button to press when I want to have really, really loud sounds. So, sometimes we need to have that. That is holding us. That is the healing for us, the loudest. Sometimes we want to sing really loudly or talking to people really loudly. And especially if you feel anger or frustration, you want to let it go, let it out. So if that is your energy, just scream it, say it to the person, say it into the pillow, say it to yourself, say it out loud while you are walking or you are driving your car or whatever you are doing. Say it out loud. Don't hold that energy back, because the body wants to release it. And if you are really drawn to the loudest of the loudest roaring sound, then you let it out. I can guarantee your body is going to feel quite different afterwards. Very, very different, in fact. But you see, some of us are really drawn to the harmonies. We want to have the beauty. We want to hear, we want to sense the fullness of the harmonies, the consonants, the harmonies, the beauty which sounds pretty, sounds lovely, sounds nice. This is how we would say. And then if you are enjoying singing, for instance, when you hear your favorite song, then you harmonize. You might be up with the trebles, up with the angels. You might be maybe going with the bass and figuring out the chord progressions. Maybe that is your pattern. That gives you the healing. That is your space. So you are going with the harmonies, and sometimes, we want to get over everything very, very quickly and just rushing through, because that is our pattern. And then if you feel that you've got so much frustration in your body and so much anger and frustration, and you can't hold yourself in one space, if you feel that, oh, I need to go for a meeting, if I have a call with a family member and I'm just really, really feeling like squeezing myself out, then before you go and talk to people, just go up and down the stairs a couple of times, 5 or 10 times, and as fast as you can do. And then your body is going to shake that energy out. So, maybe your musical element on that occasion is the tempo, how fast you are doing things. And, sometimes we want to really slow down, especially when we are out in nature. If your lifestyle is really rushing around, if you live in a very, very chaotic, noisy city, whatever space, maybe you got the airplanes flying around your head, or loud neighbors, or all the various things, and then you want to find the opposite, then you go out quietly and walk out in nature. And maybe usually your time is that I'm taking my phone and finishing my phone calls with friends while I'm out in nature. But use that opportunity. If your life is really, really crazy, use that opportunity to be quiet, and then you just breathe. And then again, I can guarantee you, if you have that very, very chaotic, busy, busy head and lifestyle, then the silence might be something, maybe a little bit of a challenging activity. Maybe that's why you need to be silent for a couple of minutes, especially if you are out in nature. That is maybe your learning. Maybe you are running away from the silence. You are running away from that stillness. Maybe that musical element, which is the loudness, the volume, which is your musical element, and just play with that. You know what is really interesting with all these musical elements? I think there are 7 or 8 of them. Probably a few of them are there I haven't mentioned, that we are drawn to one. It's polarity. We are drawn to one. But then if you are really, really always going with one direction, then check in with the other one. What is the other end of the stick? What is the thing I'm really, really in denial about? And just tune into that and see what is going to open up for you. So you see, music is really holding the space for you. The music is there for healing. And it's quite interesting, because I wanted to talk to you about healing, but then here we go. We always find a way, one way or another. I got a different topic, different theme from Mr. The producers. You see, I'm in my analyzing brain, I'm calling it a theme and a topic, but anyway, it's like an idea. But you see, one musical element, which I haven't mentioned in itself. I can mention it together with the volume, but in itself, it stands. And then I know most of my students, when I teach music, they are really thinking about that. What is that musical element? We talked about the tempo, we talked about the duration. Oh, pitch. We can talk about the pitch. That's another one. Whether we are always up in our head voice, and this is how we need to talk. Then, if you feel that I'm getting really annoyed with my head voice because I'm so much up there, then you bring yourself back to yourself. Do a few breathing exercises, chant, and then you will see. You do not need any YouTube and any kind of music and all those things. So somebody is helping you to chant. You just sit down and take a couple of breaths, and then you listen to the pitch within yourself. Start humming, and then you will see which one is the comfortable, which one is the comfortable pitch where you want to stay, because you feel it's resonating in your tummy, it's resonating in your knees, it's resonating in your back, maybe on your shoulder, maybe you feel it on top of your head, So you play with that, you experiment with that as well. But you see, I want to go back to that one musical element most of my students really, really miss, which is the silence. Actually, not just the silence, but pause. We can experience silence amongst all the other musical elements, and we need a pause. If I'm going along with a beatbox, sometimes I need to have the pause, so that I am breaking the pattern. How you are breaking the pattern in your life? Are you just going with the whatever pattern you are running in your life, or you are ready to pause and you are ready to experience something. You know, if you feel that, oh, my life is just going all over the place, then experiment with the pause. You know, sometimes people call it, oh, I need a break. I just need a break. I just need a break from the craziness of life. I just need a break from my family members, from my work, from the community, whatever, from my pets, from my plants. My plants are always there. The plants are always there for us, and the pets are always there for us to bring healing forward. But if you feel that you are feeling really, really drained and overwhelmed, then experiment with pause and that make it peaceful, make it peaceful. So for instance, if you are doing your household chores, then you find a pause, you know, you just sit down and just see what is opening up for you. You know, when you have a couple of minutes and it's silent and then it's there for you, that space is there for you. And then you never know, maybe that is a time when you have a very clear idea. You know, the clarity is coming forward when you are pausing with everything, and then you have the clarity, and then you breathe, and then you start chanting, and maybe you start smiling, and maybe you've got an idea coming. Maybe your ideas are coming together. Maybe you are inclined to call a friend. Maybe you are inclined to invite somebody around. Maybe you are impressed by something which was not really in your zone. So that space is most certainly a breathing and healing space for you. So my lovely friends, oh, what a brilliant, interesting little chit chat. I'm really enjoying this chit chat with you. So I hope it resonated with you one way or another. Keep on with your music, and come back in 7 days' time. And that was our show, Zsuzsanna Medium, here on the Astral Radio Network, even our Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, and Mr. The producer and the team behind the scene. Thanks very much. And I'm going to practice the beatboxing. See you next week. Thanks. Bye.